everybody? Welcome to another hot episode of the POPcast. My name is Miss Cosmo, back for another, good episode right here. Obviously rolling with my main homie Moochie for one, baby. What's up?
What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? I hope you're all keeping warm. The weather said,
said, stay home.
I don't know. We hit it. It was a summer peak over the long periods, long weekends. It got very hot. Everyone was thinking, hey, guys, this is going to last. And then it said, forget about it.
Forget about it. My man Moochie today can't really see what's happening. So he's just,
yeah, man,
feeling his way through the episode.
I hope everyone is fine.
Because the classes are at home.
I hear things in my ears, and I
don't even know how you got here, like how you even walked out of the door. But anyway, we are joined by an awesome content creator, comedian, musician, actor, Mr. Zenza Bonke, PD Jokes in the house. What's up?
Thank you so much, guys, for having me. I'm good. A bit nervous, but I'm right.
Nervous for what? Man, come on. This is just chats. We're just having a good time, you know?
Yeah. You're right. At least I got boon. I'm trying to, so I'll be fine.
Exactly.
But I'll hear you. So if you tell that nonsense, I'll be like, man. Some sound coming on the...
Something is happening from this side of the room.
Nah,
Talking about the room that we're in right now, we are at Meet and Hustle Bry House. It is out in Parkmore. It's a very new venue. It's actually opened, I think, last month, if I'm not mistaken. So come through and check it out. The energy is good. Obviously, it is a Bry House. So, you got your chisanyamas, you've got your pap, your chakalakas, your what. So we actually ordered a meal now. So we're going to taste it. And hopefully, we're going to be impressed by what's happening out here at the Bry House. So come through and check it out. It is in Parkmore. And I love how situated it is because it's really just in Sandton. So
it is very, very close from Benmore Shopping Center.
Yes.
If you know where what's the school, Boston Media House is, literally around the corner from there.
Hey, so you actually saw it.
I saw it. You know what? I can sense it. I see the area that I'm in. I even looked at the GPS. I said Boston Media House.
There's a school here somewhere.
Your sixth sense is alive, my brother. Shout out.
All right, so getting into what was hot and happening this past week, of course, we did have the Metrofm Awards. And somebody who did scoop a lot of the awards and was the main winner for the evening was AKA, taking home 4 awards for the Metrofm Awards. And especially after the hiatus that they had for the past 3 years. And, given the circumstances, obviously, with us losing AKA, I think it was paying homage to him more than anything,
Absolutely,
100%.
man. It was very, very dope to see AKA take them. And I think most of those awards, the Metrofm Awards, are voted for, né?
Yeah.
I don't know how many of them are. He took 4, right?
Yeah.
And I know most of them are voted for. I don't know if you vote for Best Male.
He won
pretty much everything.
He got Artist of the Year, Best Collaboration. There was
Best
2
Male.
others.
For Lemonade, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
And Song of the Year, I think. Or Best Hip Hop Song.
No, he didn't get the
Best Collaboration was Lemons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Best Male, Artist of the Year, and then the 4th one as well.
Yes.
But yeah, it was dope because, like I said, most of them are voted for. So of course, his fans were galvanized to send him those votes. And it's nothing new. I don't know if people want to, if they thought, I know a lot of people are talking about said they should have won some of those awards.
Yeah.
But there's also things that should have won when it's voted for.
I hear people saying there's something called Sympathy Award. I'm just like, I'm not buying that chat to see it's a Sympathy Award, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, AK has been collecting awards.
First of all, you know what I mean?
He has been in the streets just collecting. So I think those 4 just for us to respect, a resting goat, man, to be quite honest. And I think the album did pretty well.
Absolutely. I think there's no issue at all. A, they're voted for, so regardless of this, even if there was sympathy, like they still voted.
Yeah.
So there's that already. B, again, which is actually the first point, is that KK has been winning awards all the time. He literally prided himself on being able to beat big names, especially at Metro Awards. There's that clip that everybody was always circulates where he speaks about beating Jimmy Dudu's ass, and beating Abu Zahara.
The violence.
You know what I mean? So wherever he is, I know he's that same voice. So KO's his boy, but I know he's like, I beat Seti's ass.
but do you think Seti should have won though?
I think he should have taken at least 1 award.
Something. But it was definitely Song of the Year close by. I don't know. What one song of the year was a gospel song or something?
It was a gospel song.
Like since that 1 December when we went show with I don't trust nothing these days. I don't know that song, to be quite honest.
I think
it's the Summers, right? The one that won Song of the Year. He's that artist. Everyone was like,
DJ Lu. Oh, DJ Lu. Lo also kids and Cause FM when they were bangers that year. But anyway,
You know what? It's tricky for this one because obviously you can see there's a lot of, situation, bias, whatever. It's not to say that song isn't big because everybody knows the gospel market rakes in a lot of money.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Yeah, but I'm just talking about because it's a commercial radio station, it should have been a commercial song that kind of won Song of the Year. But at the end of the day, it is up to the voters as well because the voting lights were open even during the show. So people should have voted for Sete. Outside of that, I do think he deserved to take maybe one or two other awards, especially given the fact that Sete was number 1 on the top 34, but I think he broke the record like 16 weeks or something like that.
Definitely. It was a smash.
It was a very long time that he was, it could be less, could be more. All I know is that he broke the record on how many times he was on the number 1 for the top 30. He should have taken at least one award.
At least.
Something, yeah.
So that's the tricky part about Sete. But just going back to AKA's awards, he did win Best Collaboration Artist of the Year, Best Hip Hop Artist, as well as Best Male Artist.
All right.
And this is off of the back of, in 2011, also at Mbombela Stadium, he had won Best Produced Album, Best Hip Hop Album, and Best Newcomer.
Goats.
So AKA
with
is
his
an
first.
award-winning artist.
Yeah, he just collects awards. That's all he does.
Absolutely.
So
Saphumula hashtag agawinanga. Saphumula.
And because I'm going to completely discount the fact that, of course, because his fans were even more, inspired to get him those awards because
100%.
it's probably his last chance to get off this brand new album that he
The
has.
legacy,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So I can only imagine that times 2. If you, somebody was, you tell your neighbor to tell your neighbor to tell your friend to tell a friend, because let's all get behind and let's vote. So perhaps at the end of the day, you're fighting more than just, whose fan base is more active at any given time, and that's just what that is. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing more.
That is beautiful to
I don't
see.
think I don't personally, because I know that relationship that he had with AK. I don't think he's looking at it going, damn, that should have been me per se.
He actually tweeted.
You know what I'm
tweeted, showing love.
Of course,
to the
man.
awards, obviously that he won. So that was pretty dope. I feel like those two were super close.
They were busy with the collab album before he passed and everything. So I think because based on that, I don't think it's anything that any energy that he'll carry into like, should have been me, should have been me. I think it's one of those, it's probably going to be a close night, and at the end the results were the results. So it's just keep it pushing. What I am concerned about is the award show themselves. I don't know if you guys got a chance to actually watch them.
I didn't watch. I was traveling and I was in East London, so I didn't get a chance to actually see. Did you watch?
No, you didn't miss anything. That's the first problem. First of all,
You missed a lot. Hey.
you missed a lot of nothing.
Yeah, no, I saw Big Zulu flexing a whole 15,000 rand jacket.
I was very concerned about that tag because I was just like, why did his team not tell him to take it off? Or what was happening? And then later I saw a video that it was intentional.
It was intentional.
Oh, you wanted people to see what he
Yes.
rocking. That old style of people rocking
Leather
jackets.
Leather
with the-
jacket didn't even have aromats. Like there was no sauce in the jacket. It was just a tag.
It was a simple leather jacket.
Nah. Big Zulu.
But my brother Yazi, I commend you ngoba nkabi yami. Uirokile jacket yakho.
They won big time.
But I mean I feel ngathi bakropile ngoba leyo 15,000 angiyiboni my brother, but that's a conversation for another day.
That
Yeah,
should go
man.
to his fighting lessons. Like use that money wisely, Big Zulu.
we had similar issues that we have every time we speak about these award shows, or some sound issues. Sometimes people are performing, you couldn't hear the other one on the mic, stuff like that. My first issue was that I don't know why we went all the way to Nelspruit.
True.
Into the stadium.
True. I mean,
Why?
White Stadium, it's open.
Why?
What if it rained? Like I thought about that.
It's these big ass shots of an empty stadium with like a crowd of people inside that look like they came there to train for something that's going to be happening later at the stadium.
Not a strawberry on top of a
You know what I mean?
cupcake.
They look like they work at the stadium. When you gather people around, guys, today when we open at the stadium, everybody, all hands on deck.
It looked like they were all the crew because they were all wearing black on top of that.
Everybody looked like the crew over there. And I'm just like, everybody who came all the way to Nelspruit deserves a little bit better than that. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
The artists deserve a little bit better. The Metros have gone for a little while. They come back and this is what they come back with. To me, I'm just like, the award show itself was poorly organized, poor sound, poorly executed. They took it all the way to Mbombela for who? You know what I'm saying? There you can see.
But you know what? It's out of legacy. Because the legacy for the awards was always to kind of take it to different parts of the country.
Yeah.
There were times where they'd taken it to PE. There were times where they'd taken it to Cape Town. They'd also taken it to
Absolutely.
Durban.
I get
So
that.
I think it was just part of that.
Let's find another venue then. Don't take it to the stadium. If you're not selling out the stadium, why are you going there? You can book the stadium. It's fine.
Can you call POPcast?
But then what?
For a comment.
Wow, Tabo Pesta.
I'm gonna host
I
my-
was gonna say call Casper.
I'm gonna host my next birthday
Yeah,
party
no.
at a stadium. I'm gonna find out how much it is to book the stadium. I'm gonna book that thing, and then I'm just gonna invite my friends and family.
Larato
When they
Khanyako's
get there, it's
husband.
gonna be weird for all of us.
Yeah, no.
when I want us in the middle of the pitch, and I want to take picture on the drone, so people can be like, what's this guy's problem?
And then the chairs. When those the chairs from Komasung, like,
Udiboni, yes.
Nah, there's a lot going on.
I don't ask those Bob chairs.
Yeah, no, I was just like, guys, in some lane. Look, I don't mind the black. Like, I just want to make a comment. I don't know if you guys can just put the picture right here. Miss Pumalanga rocks up in a yellow lime outfit at a black and white event.
She saw the what you call this, the dress code. She said, "Not me."
Maybe it was chilling red carpet, you know.
Aye, touche. But it's a black and white. Like, this is gray. Something close. Like, what in the lime is going on here? But anyway.
What in the lime?
But me, I blame everything on SABC. Is too close to ANC. It's still government. It's too Abazali that are busy trying to be cool with these awards. And you can tell that they've got their fingers in every pie. You know, the first 2 rows at these award shows, the MEC, mama, all protocol observed ass niggas that have come to these award shows. What do you want here? What do you want here? I don't know, I can smell a tender from a mile away.
Oh, wow. What's that? Is that a bridge I'm smelling? No. But I have a question though, because Mina, for all these awards, whether it's the Summers, the Metros, I've always had this thing of our production level in terms of our artists performing.
Yeah.
Do you think that we are there on that mark yet, or we just don't put too much effort in production?
I feel like we're slacking with the most basic things, you know what I'm saying, and production. And even when you can see an effort being made, and like I see, there's a big ass stage, but then you're not utilizing it in the way that you should. So there's an effort behind it, giving artists a big stage to perform on. You know, all the lights and cameras. You know what I'm saying? You're not squashing them in some silliest. But then the cage is about a kilometer and a half away from the crowd.
Yeah.
You know
I see what you mean. In my keys on the other side of the post.
When an artist wins, by the time they get to the stage, they're 3 awards deep. Hey, well, Makhadzi came to collect the award. They're presenting something else now. They say, Makhadzi, where you been, girl?
Do you know what the tricky thing is about using a stage like that? Is that 9 times out of 10 artists don't have rehearsal time.
Yeah.
So the rehearsal time is also the tricky part. 1, because it's out of town, and 2, it's also just making the time, because it would be easier. Maybe let's say they could do rehearsals or schedule them throughout the week if it was in a closer venue. Maybe say like Johannesburg, Pretoria, Sharp. That is understandable. But you wouldn't drive all the way to Nelspruit for rehearsal and then come back for gigs on Friday. That's also like a little bit of a hindrance. So I'm not saying all is excused. However, when you're talking about artists utilizing the space, utilizing the production, sometimes that's also a little bit of a hindrance. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, if the question is, are we getting there? Then the answer to that is, do you think you'd watch the BET Awards or the MTV Awards and they'll be using Brian Namajita as chairs to host that situation?
Because we stay up for the Met Galas. We stay up for the quality that, you know.
They would not be using that. Or if they do, you must put that cover on it. Even Afbob, the thing when they come, they put that black cover on it. You never know what kind of chair it is. You know what I mean? There's some effort around. You know, so there's small things like that where you can see, it's like, where the things that they cut corners on always kill me.
100%.
Big ass international looking dope stage that can, you know, host 20 people, 30 people, 50 people at the same time, and then you choose that garden chair. It's like, what are you spending money on here? What do we care about? You know, it's
a chair. You're just sitting.
Yeah, but I mean, just little things like that where it's like,
I want to still vitamins.
Get the chair, covering it up, and the distance, because now that's the reason why the stage or the people are so far back from the stage, because the stage is huge. So people themselves who are there need to be able to see the stage. So you keep them. If I was right next here, close to a stage that's like bombastic, I wouldn't be able to see the performances. So you gotta move us back, right?
I see what you mean.
So that's what I'm saying. Now people who are doing it don't understand staging that they're doing at award shows. All we understand that there must be a big stage as if we're hosting a regular ass festival. We forget that this is supposed to be a TV show.
Production,
These performances are supposed to look good on television as well as for the people there. In fact, award shows are mainly for the people watching at home.
True. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not for the people in attendance.
The people in attendance. So we're trying to throw a festival and just capture it on camera. Which is the wrong way to do it. Well,
hey, tricky. But talking about Makhadzi and her arriving late too, at least she was there to fetch her award. You know, it's better late than never, my sister. Better late than never.
She came and she fell on the floor. I love her drama.
And the thing is, do you know what I like about Makhadzi?
Naganama.
Yeah, literally.
Do you know what I love about her? Is that she's intentional about her drama.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, sometimes you can sit back and be like, is this because maybe she's from Limpopo? We don't really understand. No, she does it on purpose because she wants a reaction. And I love it for her because she gets what she wants out of it. So all that throwing herself on the stage, reacting the way that she's reacting, she's doing it on purpose because she wants people to understand, hey, I am a performing artist. This is what I do. Yeah, performer.
No, absolutely. It had that element of exaggeration from the culture. So she stays true to herself. She wasn't like, or because I'm on TV today, I'm gonna sing.
And
then
she
she's
knows how
like-
to stay relevant also. Because
Shout
I mean,
out.
I heard Rama Him with that kind of song was not even beef with Ntonton. It was just a stunt. But yeah, no, shout outs to her.
Yeah, man. Shout outs to her. She won Best Female Artist at the awards as well. But she is going through a little bit of a dispute with her label, Open Mic Productions. And it seems as though they've kind of decided for themselves that they've renewed her contract. And she's just like, I want to be out of this contract. What do you mean you're deciding for me that I'm still here?
I mean, I heard via the grapevine, you know, I think what she signed, maybe I'm not sure, I'm just speculating,
Yeah.
what she signed was something like along the lines of, I'm just paraphrasing, it's okay, sharp, it's a 3-year thing maybe, and then maybe if in these 3 years something happens and you blow up, we're going to have an automatic renewal. Is it not the case
I
maybe?
think they've got the option to renew.
The option, not automatic.
But option needs to be agreed upon between two people. A contract is not a person by themselves. That's why sometimes it's, again, we go back to the same old conversation we've had for years here on the podcast about reading your contracts. And it is tricky if they're going to make it automatic, because at what point does that person who you're making money off of have a decision over their own career?
Yeah.
These contract disputes. It's every 2 weeks now with somebody's contract.
Every 2 weeks or monthly.
Every 2 weeks.
Someone is writing
monthly.
a song in studio right now.
And depending on,
Apparently.
you can play whichever side you want at any given time. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be sympathetic to the artist, you can bring that argument in and say, obviously, when you find somebody destitute making music in their mom's bedroom, you know what I'm saying? All those things, which is a lot of artists locally. And then you promise that person, I'm going to take you out of this bedroom, put you into studio, put you into stage, take you on tour. Don't worry, I got you. We're going to put marketing around you. All that shit costs money. We know that. So the label, of course, they're trying to make money off you because they saw your
trying to make their
talent.
money back.
And if you have nothing and nobody was giving you a chance, and somebody finally says, "I'm gonna put my effort and my money and my resources behind you," you're the only thing I can imagine you can say in that situation is yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have very little negotiating space to be like, "Can I see the contract again just to make
like,
sure
but
when I'm rich and famous, you don't take everything."
but Bima.
They're like, "No, I came here because when you're rich and famous, I want to take everything." It's kind of my.
So do you think artists forget the conversation they
I don't
have
think
with
they
with the labels in the beginning? Which, oh, mamela mfethu kuzoba sona so bayakhohlwa, but manje I'm big.
I have to admit that sometimes people, yes, you're in a contract conversation. Maybe you're meeting with a label. The label will promise you whatever you want because they want you to sign with them. I personally don't think that they stipulate every single clause that's written in a contract. And that's why it's important for you to have your own lawyer to relook at these contracts, because they're the ones who have to protect you. Because if these people decide to turn on you, baba mimali yako, and now you're stuck.
Now they're taking my car.
And now you don't have any option because contractually you are bound, but you didn't know you were bound. Because when you're in that meeting and you're excited and you're a new artist and you're wet behind the ears, you're gonna sign because they're saying to you, we're gonna blow you up, we're gonna take it to the top. 1, 2, 3. Hey, it's a 3-year contract. So when are you thinking, oh, okay, cool, 3 years, and then I do this thing and then I take it to the top and I'm gone. They won't say in a meeting when we're sitting like this, Kuti, but if you are the world's greatest, we just gonna keep you forever. They won't say that in a meeting.
Of course.
In the fine print.
There's always-
Ma-artist spa masalandi moto zabo like mingela fika endlini kuqala like so landa spa petty cross ubaba abantu manje cabanga MC zihambe spa ka sicela imoto marapra wami into feel
They pull up on them like repo. You know what I mean? Like bank repo type of situation.
give me that trolley.
Yeah, it's very tricky, man. I say all these things. I don't know what the solution is, because, like I said, right now we're sitting here, we're discussing it. It's newspapers, it's whatever. We'll tell people information is out there.
All the time you guys mention this, talk about
But
this.
there's still an artist right now who's at home just begging for an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? They're doing whatever they can. Somebody told him that guy's record company is walking to that guy's house. He's bothering people. You know, they're trying to get seen. And then eventually somebody's going to be like, I can do something. Because it's not always established, record companies at time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can find a struggling record label owner. I could just be a CPO who's registered something, one day I'll find an artist, and then I do find that artist, so we blow up together. My company starts to go on the up and up because I have this artist who's taking me on the up and up. Maybe I attract a few more artists along the way. It's like as if even in that situation I turn into a monster in real time, because when I found you, we both didn't have anything. We didn't know what it could become. Then tomorrow, now there's hundreds of thousands coming in every other day. We don't know. Now that's when the greed starts. So I feel like people, it's like, I don't know what should we speak to people's humanity and be like, that's what basically, we should tell people like, come on, man, just don't be a dick if you're gonna help people.
It'll be tough to make a decision. It'll be tough to say no, man. If you're not passion fruit and lemonade for the first time, let's go sign. Give to the passion fruit. I want more of this passion fruit. So I think the hunger also, I think artists sometimes they're trying to escape the poverty. So
100%.
they'll take whatever deal that they have.
Exactly.
Not thinking what's and not knowing what's in the future.
Especially because the amount where you can blow up can really be mind-blowing. You know what I'm saying? You can go to, because understand how most artists don't make it to a big money-making stage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In a record label situation, in a professional record label, whichever one you're going to pick, international ones, the Warners, the Sonys, whatever, most of their roster is people who will never be multi-platinum selling artists.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So the multi-platinum selling artists are the ones that are actually funding that entire business. You know what I'm saying? All their money, so they extract a lot from the biggest selling, biggest revenue generating artists to be able to keep that entire business
and
afloat. You know what I'm saying? Because there's people in that situation who will never really be, they'll never really make much profit out of. You know what I'm saying? A lot of artists think to themselves, will I ever be Makhadzi? Will I ever be a AKA or a Casper? Will I ever be, you know what I'm saying, a DJ Mang Mang? So yeah, it's very difficult. This situation Yaga Makhadzi, because like I said, we discuss it all the time, and for me it always boils down to, I feel like there needs to be some sort of legally you sign whatever you sign. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like because you can get anybody to sign anything, if I find you and I make you sign a lifetime slavery ass contract, it's very hard for you to legally ever get out of that. You know
but that's also so unfair though. Like
and
legally,
I feel like
surely.
I feel like there should be maybe some sort of body. Yeah, right. There should be some sort of body that says every sort of record company has to come through this body when they register as a record company, and every sort of music contract needs to be agreed by a third party, by everybody.
I'm not union, I'm a musician.
You know what I'm saying?
Union?
Yeah.
Oh, my brother, we were the ones suffering during COVID. What do you mean?
No,
I want
because
to
then they would fight.
something.
They would try and fight for the musicians.
My brother, ayikho union is out. Yama
Yeah,
musician.
Kosatu for
Yeah, that's what I'm
Besilamba
saying,
sonke.
Oh, that's
Besi
crazy.
lamba
Nehau
sonke.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, because it seems like we hear stories about artists who don't, polish up their legalities, but then also people still signing trashy deals, for lack of a better term. So, is it because that's not advice? That's not.
We don't have advice. We don't have money for lawyers. We don't have access to resources. And you're right, a union is needed. But the thing is, and this is also what it kind of boils down to at the end of the day, is that when something is unionized, it's usually agreed upon even from a governmental perspective. So, for instance, the Department of Arts and Culture needs to kind of get involved, but they just don't take us seriously. And that's why it frustrated a lot of people when they join sports and arts and culture together, because now all of the budget is going to sports because sports has a lot of return, whereas music and arts and everything else is just looked at like a pastime. Like I need imagine funimali. No, we're actually feeding our families with this career. You know what I mean? We're building houses, we're building businesses, we're building careers, and it needs to be taken seriously just as much as any other profession in South Africa. Yeah. So if it doesn't start from a government perspective, we're never going to get unions, because South Africans also are not going to agree, because wonke umuntu ufuna ukuba phambili. That's
I said to cut out,
unfair, because I was saying, sorry to cut you off. I was thinking, because doesn't music and concert contributes towards our tourism and nanani?
My brother,
of course.
They call us when they want to entertain their people here, and they say, oh no, we're having an indaba or mining indaba, and then there's after parties. Artists for your after party.
When we have to host abo happy balenda bangana customs la puma airport so badlalela kuphi guys.
You
Come
see,
I get what you mean.
Absolutely.
But talking to your point about coming from the bottom and then kind of blowing up and taking it all the way to the top with your manager who also didn't really know what they were doing, is a similar conversation that's happening on social media right now with regards to Creative Corner and Uncle Waffles. And the chat around that is, okay, was Uncle Waffles' success based on her management, or was it based off of her? Can they repeat that with another artist?
Another tricky conversation, which I feel like has a lot of legs. You know what I'm saying? How to open it up. Uguti, first of all, we see every now and then an artist come around who no one can actually put the finger on what it is that they did that made them pop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are things that happen every now and then in entertainment where somebody goes from who is this
Zero to hero. Yeah, to
this person is on
superstar.
any stage around the world. You know what I'm saying? We see it when it happens with American artists. Usually, you know what I'm saying, we go from we're in bed one day to this guy tweeting, and then he's Lil Nas X, and then he's just a Grammy Award winning guy.
Yeah.
It's the way that you can explode in the American sense of being a superstar from zero literally to hero is one of those things that when it happens, no one, especially now in the age of social media, it's hard to put your finger on. It's not just one thing. You know what I'm saying? Because having that X factor, that thing that people are attracted to you so much, is nothing that no one can take away from you and your own person. So it's very difficult to say Uguti Angwafo. So Angwafo, first of all, I feel like she has that. You know what I'm saying? She has that thing that you can't really define, that you can't put your finger on. Because what is it? Other people can dance, other people can DJ, other people can make.
Is it a donut? Like
It's very, very tricky to put one thing to it. So we have to boil it down into one of those things that are very intangible. To saying this is one of those situations in life where the stars aligned for this person and everything seemed to work out for her in a very quick, very difficult to define
Champagne
way.
Papi had a hand in it, because I mean anything Champagne Papi puts his hand on, because I mean he did endorse her big time, because I think we slept on her for a bit until he recognized her, and then everyone is like, oh, okay, Drake said something about waffles, and since then we've just been clinging on to it.
But it's a series of things like that. So she didn't, it wasn't somebody who was a DJ and then Drake DM'd her and then everybody was like, oh, now let's all fall in the wave. I'm saying, look at everything that's happened to her. It's happened at a maximum. You know, if video trends and then it trends the entire continent.
And I sure that day, that day I gigging. Now, boyfriend, I go to NASA. This is the video that's gonna make me blow up. Now, Sipo one blue tick, and then Sipo got blue ticked afterwards. Shame.
So there's that happening. So there's a series of small events that all put together. You're like, you can't define them all. People trend all the time. People get recognized by international artists all the time. People, you know, there's all these things that you can say have happened to her that have happened to other people.
So giving flowers to management.
All those things. So no, I'm saying, so there's those things. So management themselves must give flowers to the intangibles that they can't really define.
100%.
But they have to be given props for the fact that they saw something. You know what I'm saying? Because they saw something. They saw this girl and they saw something and they saw star quality.
100%.
They could not have defined how far it was going to be. It's just like they were thinking, I'm sure a year from now we'll be on Coachella stages. They were thinking, hey man, because there's a lot of email DJs and there's a lot of young ones that are doing very well. They thought, I think we've just found another one. You know what I'm saying? She seems like she's got an X factor. She's young. She's got a good vibe about her. You know what I'm saying? So maybe this is somebody we can put some energy around and hopefully, you know what I'm saying, help propel her to being one of the top female DJs in the country. I guess that's where you start thinking. And then everything else that starts to happen, I feel like you're always catching up. Hey man, they want us in Botswana and then they want us in the UK and then they want us.
But she definitely was the exception to the rule. I think that's one thing people are forgetting, is that, you know, there's a lot of musicians who work really hard to kind of get where they want to go, and sometimes you'll pop immediately, other times you'll pop after 10, 15 years. I mean, if you look at the likes of Black Coffee, I mean, he's at the peak of his career now, but he's in his 40s, 50, you know what I mean? And things only kind of picked up for him later in his life as opposed to when he started DJing when he was in his teens. So sometimes it takes much longer for people. Other people, for like Uncle Waffles, like I said, she's the exception to the rule. Not everybody is going to be an Uncle Waffles, and you're talking about the intangibles, which are really important, because if those things didn't happen, she wouldn't be able to be where she is now. I commend her team though for recognizing those intangibles and striking while it's hot. Because some people can sit back and be like, oh,
absolutely,
we're Team Uncle Waffles, everyone wants us. No, those guys are not sitting back. They're like, hey, if we don't strike now, this buzz, what if it dies tomorrow? We need to go with it wherever it's going. And she's flourishing wherever she's going, and that's a shout out to the team.
Parties and after parties, DJ. Waffles, can you please be casted for Wakanda 3? Like, we need you to be our Black Panther.
Really?
It's possible.
Really?
I mean, the team. We're just giving props to the team. Like, I mean, Trevor Noah is in Black Panther, or was it Avengers?
Yeah, but Trevor Noah is actually like a comedian and an actor. I can't even remember the last time I heard Uncle Waffles' voice. And I'm not being snags, I just don't hear her speak often.
I heard her speak once. She sounds so shy. There's a video she put out. I remember somebody reposted it, and she had this nice meek voice. Hi guys, it's Uncle Waffles. So it was very interesting actually to hear her.
So you want that to be Black Panther?
But they can put a little oomph around.
Look, we have an SA musician who's a Powerpuff Girl, guys. Anything is possible. This is South Africa.
Yeah,
absolutely. And let me tell you something. Brands love people that everybody seems to be attracted to. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna put people. I understand what is she at the end of the day? She's an entertainer. So everywhere where entertainment is being called, people are gonna be like, there's a person here who entertains more than the average person. You know what I'm saying? People gravitate to her when she's on the when she shows up on a flyer, and those that don't know her probably gonna get their minds changed that day when they do see her for the first time.
So now we need to go back to the original question,
Yes,
which
sorry.
is: do you think her management team can do the same for another artist, or do you think it's only specific to Uncle Waffles?
And this is why I keep speaking about the intangibles. It's very difficult to replicate because that's when you realize the intangibles that this girl has.
I see. That's when you
You know
discover
what I'm
those
saying?
things actually
What
do
those
play.
guys
Makes
exactly.
sense,
What those guys need to do is being able to recognize talent and build around it. You know, you turn into yourself into a business like Ambitious Entertainment, for example. You know what I'm saying? Who can spot talent and then put energy around them, put them in the right so that they can become, you know what I'm saying, superstars. We go to America and you think about a label like the guys that signed Abu the Migos. Now I'm forgetting the name of it.
Capital Records.
Capital, no, the
Quality Street
Quality
Music.
Street Music,
Yeah.
for example. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Being able to find boy Young Miami, put on the guys from Atlanta, whatever. It's being able to recognize talent and saying, you know what, these guys have exactly what we need to take them to the next level. You start noticing things, qualities that an Uncle Waffles has, so you can find things like that in an artist. That's how you build your stable around people who you're like, I know how to sell this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're actually right, because Ambitious did have like a select sound
Absolutely.
with their artists. And whenever they got them, it's like these guys all come from the same place, but they all speak different languages, but they can all make the same music, and it sounds amazing. So
they had a formula of how we work in our label, but also they're the type of star that they could go after.
Yeah.
Sometimes once you sit down with an artist, you can be like, I know exactly what to do with you because I know what the market is like. When you have people, so hopefully what those dudes from Creative Corner are thinking to themselves, like, we must be able to recognize what we found in this girl, or what we saw, the type of energy we gave her, and being able to replicate that in other artists. Because if you can and you find a similar type of talent, you might not. And the next DJ that you sign, whatever, whether it's a lady or guy, might not tomorrow end up in a Coachella stage, but you might open their world up in another different way.
Elon Musk, Mars.
One
I perform the first black South African to perform in Mars. Anything is possible.
So it's always
That's
hard.
actually a good idea.
What I'm saying, like pull a whole turn up session there in Mars. But I also, to that point, I was thinking about how I think for us to harness that vibe, that energy, the intangible you're talking about, I think also like sometimes when you can spot a star, don't try and become them through them. Just build on that, because you can also make money, guys.
That's true. Oh, you mean like the manager is trying to
be the star? Because I think
that also irks me. I won't lie.
We have so much talent.
There's nothing that frustrates me more than somebody standing behind me and taking the shine when I'm supposed to be the main person.
It's your spot,
I'm there. You as a manager must be on the side, not in frame of the shot.
Tell that to Will
Because
Smith.
now it's awkward, because now they're like, okay, but who's the artist? Because there's like 10 people behind you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So allow the star to be the star.
There's an element of that you always see it on certain times, because sometimes the DJs, the managers is also a slash DJ, you know, who helps you around,
Slash photographer.
maybe slash photographer slash maybe MC sometimes.
Yeah.
So they become part of your act as well. And now I can imagine people are saying everywhere that they see Uncle Waffles, they see those guys right behind her. They see her on stage together. I'm like, first of all, they're actually blowing up together.
Yeah.
That should be what's at the
mentality.
front of your mind.
Yeah.
They're blowing up together. So they're also excited to be at Coachella.
Yeah.
Right? As much as they were excited to be at Taboo with her and no one said anything, they're also excited to be at Coachella.
Don't say nothing when you see me at Coachella, fam.
So I'm saying, as you grow, that excitement will die down, and then you realize that you're just doing the business now. You're not going to be in front of every single stage with every single one of your artists. You won't have the time to do that. But I'm saying sometimes also letting people enjoy certain things. I'm also excited to be in Coachella, my brother. I'm also excited to go to the Met Gala after party a little bit.
And it's more staging.
You might see me in the picture a little bit. You might, you know what I mean?
Let's go crop out in
Mama
the
made it.
So there is that element, and I feel like we're trying so hard to take away. Some people are trying to take away from her and be like, this girl would be nothing without them. Taking away from them and be like, you'd be nothing without her. Like, why are we doing that?
That's whack.
They're working together. That's what matters.
They're working together, and it seems to be working for them. So I feel like just give props where props to you. You don't have to figure out the chemical element of what made this thing work, so it can make sense in your mind. Like, just give props where it's due, and all we can hope is that as they grow together, they grow in business, they grow
in everything
together, that they learn to, whatever mistakes that they could be making right now, that they learn to correct them, because you're gonna make some things mistakes across the
plenty
across the way, and when you do that, people will be right there to say, aha, I knew it.
Have a team.
I knew you wouldn't get this right. And it's like I said already, just think about that for a second. They went from singing together in Taboo, now in Coachella. they're just as excited.
Amen.
Hopefully that the excitement doesn't like draw them or make them lose
Fight
their
and-
minds
yeah.
or make them fight or whatever. I can imagine
And then they break up, then one goes the one direction.
every day it's a new check, so every day it's just like, man, I can't believe this shit keeps happening to us.
True.
You know what I mean?
And that's usually where a lot of the arguments come in. It's always a money-based thing. So I hope they've got their head screwed on right, where they understand, okay, yes, the money's coming in, but let's also be loyal to each other. You know what I mean?
100%.
Because that's how you keep elevating, how you keep on growing. Don't let the money now
Yeah.
ruin the conversation and ruin the energy.
Don't prove people right, because I think we've learned our lesson in South Africa. Every time we have hope in someone, they just let us down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter how we
true.
come through, like I hope this person's got their shit together. See, Paul, nah,
Lawyer,
no
nah.
shit.
Now
We got
Jiggy
got the lawyer now. How about tell you this and how do that, and you don't get your shit in order.
Photographers blackmailing you is like,
You know
I
what
took
I
that
mean?
picture of you in Drake, it's in my camera.
Oaks every single
10,000
day,
waffles.
it's something. It's like, oh, this person looks like they're getting it right, and then tomorrow it's like, nah, this nigga owes me cash, and he doesn't do this right, and he doesn't do that, and it's like, god damn it.
Yeah. There's
So
a-
we're hung over from disappointment.
We are also hung over from disappointment, and we're also hung over from disappointment by something that came out this past weekend. A relationship that got confirmed via an arrest warrant, I guess, that happened this past week,
Arrest?
because
Yep.
they were denying each other, and all of a sudden now they're arresting each other. Thuli Phongolo had charged DJ Phorisa, and he was in court, obviously pending charges of assault. What's going to frustrate me about this is if Thuli withdraws her charges.
She did.
And that's going to irritate me so much, because now you are playing into the hand of this conversation that we constantly have about GBV in this country and how bad it is and how we need to fight it. But you can't be at the arm of it where you have such a big voice and you've got such a big point to prove. I get it, whatever the conversation is with you and your boyfriend, but you don't go all the way to the police station just to prove a point to him. And then now it's taking it to the top, and now you're like, oh no,
Bengdlala.
What about every other South African woman who wants to go and arrest their boyfriend? Now they're going to be told, go and sort it out with your boyfriend at home. Because that's what happens.
That's true.
Yeah, it's very tricky. First of all, I mean, these are very serious allegations, of course. I actually don't know the details of what happened, except that there was a domestic violence situation. She went and opened the case. He was arrested. He's now on bail. Charges are being withdrawn. So we're hearing all these things all at the same time. It happened in the space of 24 hours. First of all, I don't stand behind niggas at all, ever. I don't wait to hear a nigga side of the story, ever. Not in this country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So whatever Thuli is saying,
Just
I'm going to.
disappointed.
Yeah, I understand the process could be frustrating. You know, we want people to press charges and to stay with them.
Yeah.
You know, and see these things through, because that's the example we're trying to send and give women hope in this country. If a nigga has done something to you, that you can actually see justice,
Yeah.
not
Yes.
give up halfway and whatever, and treat the justice system be
It wasn't
frustrating.
even a day.
And again, and that's what I'm saying. Or immediately those people's like deflated to feel like, oh, they're getting behind her, and then it feels like, oh, there's nothing to get behind now
Waste.
because you may be withdrawing charges. But like I said, I don't stand behind niggas. I was having this conversation with my friend. I tell him there's one thing that you must never call me to support is a nigga. If anything is happening, you tell me that nigga did some shit, the nigga did that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's just I'm not until further notice.
Until
I
further
have
notice.
I have no motivation to stand behind whatever a nigga told me.
Yeah.
Guys, about Ntombazana.
Mara, that silences the other guys who are victims of this whole thing.
They
whole
are
thing.
victims, but more often
Yeah.
than not, I've seen it myself growing up. I've
Where
seen
there's
it in
smoke, there's
society.
fire.
Yeah, where there's
I've
smoke,
seen
there's
it.
fire.
Exactly. I
So-
don't know a lot of
so
niggas.
it's-
I personally have never met a nigga who's been falsely accused in my life. You know
Never.
what I'm saying? I've never met one.
But we've heard of so many
I
cases.
know we've heard of them. I've never met them. So I don't lead. I'm talking from my own personal standpoint. Niggas be niggering
Nigga-
out here. You know what I'm saying? Half the time, if the nigga is the person you're gonna try to put your trust in, I'm like, I'd rather not.
Ngeke umdefend, no.
Yeah, I'll find out tomorrow if the nigga is free. I'll be like, okay, then here's an example because
Yeah.
I've seen it of black and white. But
Yeah.
more often than not, without knowing any details, nigga did some shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But also to your point as well, I think it's very important for people who are like, I would say, influential or in spaces
Yeah.
where they have big numbers and a big voice, for you to not just change your mind with less than 6 hours. Like, I feel like the nail polish I lasted that long. Like, it takes
Yeah.
forever to dry. So at least I think people look up to them. I think they forget
Yeah.
that. As in, there are young girls who are looking up to you, Thuli.
Absolutely.
And I think you, like you said, having the courage to go, guys, Nami, this is the confidence I need to go and open the case. Mine is speaking, I'm a Phorisa. So it's
I understand this cosmos frustration.
and that's the irritating thing, is that now people are going to, like, if I decide, well, not even if I decide, if I get into a situation and I want to go to Sandton police station, then it's going to be a conversation of, oh, but I nanin bonile, osisbenu, withdraw kusasa manje nisenzela umsebenzi thina hamba udile nomuntu wakhe ekhaya. No, because if I want to go the full haul and I want to get this guy behind bars and he must go and rot in jail for a couple of years, then I need to at least feel like I've got the backup to do that. And the more often people withdraw charges, the more it just weakens the system for us who want to be able to fight for what's right for us. And whatever the situation is, I'm not going to determine what the relationship is between Thuli and Phorisa. If they fixed it and they spoke about it, that's their decision. I get that. But I think what I'm trying to say is that people also need to be wary of the power they have and how far they want to take it. The mere fact that she wanted to call the police and take him to jail, she needed to understand that she needed to go the full haul with that. She can't just give up halfway. But I understand relationships and send kulumile and then maybe he butted you up and maybe it was a misunderstanding. Whatever the situation was, I don't know. I can't speak to it. I'm just saying the moment you pick up the phone and you call the police, you must understand you are going the whole way with this thing. If you want to deal with it and you want to fix your conversation and your relationship with your boyfriend, then you do it without phoning the cops, because now you are weakening the system for the rest of us who want to have serious cases. That's
and also,
she
wanted us to back her.
This is why I hate niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because it all boils down to this shit. This is what we're dealing with in this country. You know what I'm saying? It boils down to women don't know what the right thing to do is.
Exactly.
They don't know. Do I go open a case? I don't get support. I withdraw the case. I don't get any support. Like the conversation just swirls around because we'll never truly know the extent to what may have happened to her, because then it leaves this air of, oh, was she lying, whatever, and that's enough for a nigga to be like, you guys don't even know what happened. I'm back in the scene.
Personally, I believe her that, because she wouldn't have called the cops if something didn't happen. So I believe you 100%, Thuli. I just really wish that you could, take this thing a little bit further so that you can also show the young girls in South Africa that you can also fight for your own rights. But if you're choosing to fix your relationship, then you fix your relationship. Please just don't involve the authorities, because it's just weakening the system for the rest of us. That's my only point. But I good tricky man. And it's the disappointment you're talking about. Good after we love you so much, Pori, but
yeah, literally. That's it. When I first read that, I'm saying, here we go. See another nigga who's gonna be dodging these allegations. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Did he do it? Did he not do it? Where is he now? What's happening?
Yeah, the case.
You know what I'm saying? Because now it's gonna keep popping up for him. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what happens right now, it's gonna keep popping up regardless. There's gonna be certain spaces where people. There's gonna be but not to a full extent.
Dude, Americans have not forgiven Chris Brown to this day. Fam.
No, but he's still. Let me tell you something about this. There's cancellation and then there's soft cancellation when it comes to people doing things. There's soft cancellation. There's people get cancelled because we heard a serious case, we are absolutely behind this person, and then you get cancelled in certain stages you'll never be able to be a part of anymore. Certain brands you'll never be able to work with anymore. I'm saying, and that's for me is the soft cancellation. People, you still work. I'm saying people still see you and they kind of still work. But if you ask that person, there's lots of things that happen in this country. If you ask that person, how has your life changed? Things that they'll tell you will actually shock you. They'll tell you, I might seem like I'm still out here doing things, but that allegation that you guys heard completely changed my life.
Like I saw him at the metros.
Yeah, I've heard people saying the same thing about Java. I've heard people say the same thing about Malum Kokat. Those two guys, they themselves have said, although you still see them performing and doing things, and they'll tell you themselves that when those things happen, that it changed their lives. You know what I'm saying? Things have never truly been the same for them.
Definitely not the same.
You can think about DJ Fresh and what he said, euphonic. These guys have saying, as far as it stands in this country, you know what I'm saying, it's changed their lives. So I know it seems like there's no immediate justice because people are not in jail, but they themselves will tell you, there's things that I've lost that I can't begin to count the cost. So that's why I call this. I call that soft cancellation, where you're gonna see less and less about a guy who used to be everywhere, but now you see him only working in certain spaces because in certain spaces,
have to be careful.
In certain spaces, people are gonna bring that shit up, and I'm saying that's. It's not justice, you know what I'm saying, per se, but that's what happens when these things come. Like it's soft cancellation, where people are not gonna throw bottles at you when they see you, but I'm a hem and things like that. Your life becomes uncomfortable, and I guess in those small ways, you can say a woman coming out and speaking out helps a little bit because they want some sort of justice. This guy's life can't just continue like this if you guys are not gonna believe me anyway.
Exactly. The soft cancellation definitely happens, and I think even just that fact that their lives are no longer the same, it helps a little bit because you can't just walk around acting like you didn't do
Like
anything.
nothing happened.
Do you know what I mean?
Pulling a towel
It's just unfortunate because the justice system works the way that it does, and we can't. Well, whatever cases and however that they're tried the way that they are, but we're not going to make you comfortable if you are guilty. At the end of the day, you are going to feel some sort of a wrath. All right, so we're going to get into some brand new music that came out this past week. We've got a lot of hip-hop coming through. The hip-hop boys said, listen to me now. All right? We've got something from DJ Speedster, DJ Slick. We've got one from Lucas Raps and Dos, who's coming with a different sound on this one. DJ Speedster, he's got a brand new tune. It's called Phazamisa. Have you checked it out?
Love it. Is it the one where Kulkat is?
Yes, he's got OK Malum Cool Cat, and he's got Stilo Makolite.
Oh man, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Those two were always a good pair. That is Ustilo no Kulkat.
Yeah.
I think when I was listening to that song, I was like, okay, it's giving me nostalgia, hip hop vibes. Iyabuya nyana. Ikona Maria, yawana le ex leg texter. Ishabu hate delete same time. Satu afunda.
Wow.
Niggas a little vibe.
I won't lie, I do that all the time.
That's it, like delete sometimes. So it's a beautiful tune. I'm not gonna lie. I was bumping to that.
Yeah,
tune.
Phazamisa is a really dope tune, and it's a typical Speedster tune, and I think it's also speaking to the area or the era that he's in right now. The way his mindset is, he's living in Cape Town. He's just trying to have fun and have a good time. And this song sounds like they were having a good time when they recorded it as well.
Good time.
So yeah, man, I'm waiting to hear a little bit more from DJ Speedster, and hopefully that hiatus taking himself to Cape Town is also gonna bring him back into giving us a full-on project because we need that.
Please.
Yeah, one thing about Speedster is that he's very versatile in his music. You know what I'm saying? When he wants to make a track that he knows is going to be, he's a club DJ, you know what I'm saying? So he knows exactly what he's doing. Everything has to be deliberate. He knows the songs that he's making, always like, these are my playlist jams. I want this when I'm DJing. I want my friends to play it. Versus he knows how to slow it down and put something out which just has nice little dope flavor. This song, I think, came through with that. Especially when you see the list of people on it, you think to yourself, are they going to take this could be a hype jam, or it could be something a little bit more laid back. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything before you press play at that time. But I do like the vibe of the track. Actually, I like the verses on it more especially. I thought they came through quite nicely. They're sitting nicely on the beats, got nice production on it. I think it seems like one of those songs that grows on you over time. Because I bumped it 3-4 times and I was like, I think this is one of those songs that over time probably grows on you. Yeah. Maybe you start seeing some visuals for it.
I felt the same about Lemonade, to be honest. Like I heard it the first time at the launch and I was like, I'm not sure. And then a week later, that's me. A 10 on my lap, marathoners.
I was the same as well. I actually had to meet the producer and tell him to his face. It's like, now what do you think of the track? I was like, okay, my brother.
Yeah,
the track has grown on me. It does seem like one of those. But off the bat, it sounds like a very dope jam.
Yeah, man. Shout outs. DJ Slick also has got a brand new tune. It's featuring MT. It's called Ekoneni. And as the song starts, it literally comes straight into the jam. Yeah, man, he's got this thing where he just knows how to make like street anthems. That's like his DNA. Like when Slick is making music, he's making music for the streets. He's making music for the hood, and he's always in the right pocket. He always knows how to work, and it's like he's comfortable working with certain artists, and they always kind of bring out their best selves in his music. And you're hearing that from MT as well on this tune. But I'm digging it. Ekoneni, DJ Slick, shout outs.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I always say about Slick, I don't know if we give him enough of his flowers publicly, you know what I'm saying? Because his jams always pop, and I guess maybe somehow he knows how to put out hot jams without making it about himself. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He knows how to put out hot jams where you talk about the guys on the artists that he's features on it. You know what I'm saying? And he's very happy to promote it and to put it out there. But every time you hear it in a club, whatever, the first thought that doesn't come to your mind is, oh, this is a Slick song. You know what I'm saying? You can hear, oh, this is Blackie on here. There's Maglera Dope Boy on here, 25K. Tato Soul, who he has on this track.
How's MT on this
track? I'm saying MT is dope on this jam as well. He seems to have found a way to use MT in a very dope way in the last like 3 tracks they put out together.
Love to see
so that's dope. Slick, I think, always, in fact, his entire discography for me speaks for itself. He's somebody who's always following the hip hop flag very, very high. And at any given time, even in the last 2 years, I think he's been one of the biggest anchors in hip hop to really.
You know what I mean?
He does not, you know what I'm saying, wither or fall at any given time. He always stands true to the hip hop sound and to contributing positively to hip hop.
And shout outs for bringing back Saudi
as well. You know what I mean?
Yo.
Slick will find you somewhere and you say, let's go.
Fast.
His balance,
just jump on the mic quickly.
First one.
His balance of always trying to put like the new guys on and always at the same time working with the older guys. Like his mixture of how he can put people on the track is very, very dope. I think you can tell the effort he puts behind his music. It always comes through. And man, yeah, shout out Slick.
Hip Hop Cats, please drop, guys. Please drop. Because the Hip Hop Awards last year, I was like, what are Yano's artists doing here? Where are the hip hop artists? Because I was shook. I was like, Yano's artists, all of you guys are giving awards. Where are the Hip Hop Cats? No.
But also, let's talk about the hip hop that's out. You know what I mean? Sometimes we complain about the hip hop. I'm like, but you guys aren't talking about the hip hop that's out.
Is it
whether you think the tracks are whack or they think they're dope? I feel like Hip Hop Cats should focus on talking about hip hop.
Please,
you know what I'm saying? Because there are a lot of tracks that are coming out, but every time I'm online or I'm seeing, I'm like, certain people are talking about it. But Fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to hear more people speak about every single thing that comes out of hip hop. Yeah. Let's discuss the Youngster project. Let's go into the weeds of Slick's project. Let's speak about what all these cats are doing. Let's go into the Blackie projects. Let's go into all the other songs, not just the popular songs. Because now we're turning into populists now. We're only talking about the songs that are trending on TikTok. Yeah. Like our hip hop, we're saying hip hop artists must drop. There's been a lot of hip hop music that's dropped. Let's discuss that and let's give that a grading and say, these guys are going in this direction. These guys are going in that direction. Because I think we must let go of the old thing of trying to pick your favorites or whatever. They're always going to be there. But as the hip hop community,
the culture
let's talk about what's out.
Yeah,
I totally agree with you on that one, man.
Yeah, man. But you're right. There is a lot of music that has dropped this past week, and just generally speaking, I think the guys are also finding themselves in a different pocket now because they've been listening and they've been seeing what's happening with Amapiano, and they're like, you know what? If we don't pick this thing up, something's going to be a bit of a problem here. Bombastic. So I'm glad that the guys are back in studio and they are releasing. Somebody else also, Lucas Raps dropped a brand new tune. It's called Umuti, and it's nice to kind of hear him in this kind of this energy. So Lucas Raps is always like, every time I look at him, it's like I'm waiting for him to just like bounce on the stage or bounce on the mic or do something crazy. You know what I mean?
Something chill.
It gave us a little bit of a different rendition on this one and a different type of vibe. So I'm digging it. Umuti. It's out. Yeah. Yeah,
it's a dope jam as well. I liked it. First time I heard it, I was like, where have I heard this before? And I realized he put the freestyle out.
Yeah.
And he just put it on a different beat. Yeah. It takes some time to recalibrate. Because is it the first it's the chorus, ne?
Yeah.
He did a freestyle where it's an extended version of the chorus.
Yes.
And I remember when I first pressed play, I was like, where did I hear this before? Because it was immediately familiar. So it sounded like a song that I knew that had a different beat on it.
Or sample or something.
And I was like, oh no, a few weeks ago, he put out a freestyle somewhere. I don't know if it was on Instagram or some shit like that. But it didn't have a beat.
I think it was on Instagram, yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't have a beat then, or maybe it had a different type of beat or something like that, where he was just dropping something. Or maybe he was leading up to this track. I didn't even listen at that time. But I know he didn't have the same beat. So when I first heard it, I was like, hey, what's going on? And then I realized, okay, he's repurposed, or he was building on to something that he's already gave us like a little snippet of. So shout out Lucas Rap. Definitely a different vibe. It wasn't.
See, this excites me. I'd like to hear conversations like this about hip hop artists like weekly, on a weekly basis. Because I'm just like, if you guys go to buy nama hip hop piece, you guys go to play Kipel, NSTC, and then laba buying Gwenzaland. Aksana mara petlil. But say hip hop talk. Skalama petlil. Skalama sci.
Absolutely. And speaking of it, actually, I don't know if you guys have seen or I saw there's more conversation about it, but I don't know if you've heard the song with Talib Kweli and Casper.
Listen to that. Listen, I think I saw a snippet of his verse. He was just going wham bam there on the thing. So I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it's a dope Talib Kweli song. I think people remember back to, I think it was December, when a lot of guys had gone to Ghana for the Afro Nation, Afrochella vibes, and Casper was out there with Dave Chappelle and Sway and whatnot. I can see that they definitely shot the video then because there's visuals from him with Dave Chappelle, Talib, and Sway. And in the so it's Talib Kweli's song featuring some other Ghanaian guy who's on the chorus, and Casper who opens up the verse. And I thought Casper was doing a dope job there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think for himself, maybe every time that he raps or he feels like he puts something dope out, or he's tired of the conversation in the country being about, it's always people, it's very polarizing. There's these fans who love it, and then there's everybody else saying, what's going on here? You know what I mean? And I feel like we've gotten too far with that in this country, in terms of like the people that we choose to support or that we speak positively about, and those that we always trash. Yeah. It's hard for people to come back to even give a compliment even when they see something dope, because every day you're saying the nigga is whack. So I don't know. If you think it's whack, that's fine. But what I saw is that he put it out, or somebody somebody else put a verse out and people were commenting on it, and the comments were kind of balanced. I would say some people saying, I'm not really impressed.
But haters will always be haters, and like you're right, it is polarizing for him because he'll always have his super fans who are super fans no matter what he drops, and then there's the guys who will always hate no matter what he drops. So there's only very few people who can be neutral and say, okay, this is a dope jam, and others who can say, you know what, here he kind of missed one, maybe he'll come back with the next one. So it's tricky in this stage, especially with somebody like Casper, because it's literally smack bang in the middle. It's either you're on this side or you're on that side.
That's what I'm saying. Hip hop is not really talking about what's going on because these things are happening. It's casual. It's casual. Like Casper is just on track with Talib Kweli.
It's like it's nothing, right?
They have the video out together. Crazy. It's nothing. Everything that he's rapping about is on the track. Like,
do you know what's true?
Are we too used to like this doesn't happen every week?
He's been winning.
Do you know what the thing is?
Yeah, I guess.
You must also understand that people who admire Talib Kweli are much older now.
No, no doubt about it.
So with the stage that we're in right now, and the kids who are listening to music probably number one don't know who Talib Kweli is. If they do know who he is, they're just like, but we don't really vibe him right now anymore. I think he would get a lot more noise and a lot more hoo-ha around a collaboration if he worked with someone like Lil Baby or something. Then it would be like, oh shit, did you see that? You know what I mean? Because unfortunately, the people right now who are on social media, who are paying attention to music right now, are people who are much younger, who are kids who don't know who Talib Kweli is. So for them, they're not gonna make noise about it because I'm a mazi.
Yeah, it's like
I definitely understand the generation gap. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Casper himself is probably half of Talib's age or some shit like that.
Oh wow, Talib is not 60. Relax.
Not Talib sitting there catching strays. I'm 41.
I love Talib. I'm not trying to say that, but I'm just saying I know there's a generation gap. Talib is from the era of Bo, T from the V. You know what I'm saying? People who fucks with him locally would people who would fuck with Talib. I know that the kids on South Africa aren't like ablaze with Talib Kweli's song. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying it's these small things that we're saying could have been anybody else tomorrow. But the conversation is always kind of the same. You know what I'm saying? With guys. I'm saying, but like I said, the hip hop people in this country aren't talking about hip hop. So if you're bored, then I want you to tell me what's boring about it. If you're loving it, I want you to tell me.
It's just there's also just a heavy a saturation of amapiano, and I think because there's a lot more influx of amapiano songs, it makes it difficult to then pay attention to what else is happening within the music scene. And I think that's probably what hip hop needs to pick up on, is then say, okay, cool, if they're saturating, we're also then going to come with the heat and give you more.
I'll tell you what we need more of, just personally, in terms of like all the hip hop that I'm listening. I think what hip hop needs right now, if you're gonna fight radio hits and fight to be on hip hop DJ sets, hip hop needs more bangers. Yes. You know what I'm saying? It just needs more bangers.
And
There's Oaks putting out some dope music. Put out more bangers.
It's like piano is a Usain Bolt of the Olympics. Like just know it's number one, Jay, and then the other guys are like as Vele said, because all the trends are piano based. Every single thing that's trending, I'm like, where are the cats? Like, where's the hip hop culture?
And everybody's tired of it. They're like, hey guys, can we talk about what's going on at these parties and the sets? And it's like, it's 6 hours of piano. I feel like I'm drowning a little bit. So people are actually crying and saying, this is the only thing that they have, right? But Oaks are like, but we definitely have space for other genres of music. You know what I'm saying? The house guys are retreating back into their deeper house, you know what I'm saying, in the Afro text and paying more attention to that. The hip hop guys need something to retreat into and to pay attention to and to be proud of. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's what people are.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? People were proud of when Said Day was doing all these things. Were proud to get behind, about Lemons and tracks like that. But we need, everybody else. Casper said he's busy with an album. He's saying it's his best of work yet. Hopefully that's the situation. And if that's the situation, hopefully it makes everybody else saying, here's my album, here are my joints.
Please,
like the competition must be healthy.
Give us
between
bangers,
between guys hitting each other with bangers.
Well, yeah, man. Somebody who has kind of shocked me a little bit with a new song as well is Utos. He dropped an EP as well on Friday, and there's a song on there called
the one with Blackie.
Yes, it's featuring Blackie, but I want to say it correctly because I think
Dos and Blackie.
Nikumbulegile, if I'm not mistaken.
Nikumbulegile.
Nikumbulegile. Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
It's featuring her Cut the Lights as well as Blackie. You hear Dos in a different energy on this one, and I like it because it's a lot more soulful. It's a lot more brought down. It sounds it's on that like Kwenzekile type of vibe, you know. But what I'm enjoying about hearing with Dos on this is because you always just see him.
He's that hip guy.
He's
needed hip hop.
He just sounds like he's a Kwaito artist in 2023.
Yeah, I know.
And he just softened it up a little bit more and gave a little bit more of his heart, gave a little bit more emotion. And I love that, because one thing you need about artists is versatility. And that specific song gave me the versatility I've been crying for from Dos. And
emotion. He gave me emotion.
Loved
it. He gave me emotion, which was, I think, even the way he approached his verse was super chilled. Give a couple of shout outs.
Yeah.
So I could see I want to like ungene a.
Yeah.
Am I feeling in straight? So siyabonga man, hey, Mr. Hip Hop man, hey.
Yeah.
Kunini.
And you guys like to think Ginzas don't have emotions. Kala
Ginza.
Okay.
Well, those gusheshe windows are rolled up. Ginza kala man.
Business tissue.
Kunini. No, but it was a beautiful jam. I mean, for me, I didn't expect that combo. Yaga Tosno, no Blakey. So I think, and also Blakey's got this voice of his, man. It's just got this thing, man. So I think they blended really well. And like you were mentioning, I think for me, it's like he tapped into the emotions. Guni nisnebelega stava sense mlando yo guning. This Monday, it's a bit chilled.
Yeah, I know, it's a hip replacement track, this one.
Hip replacement.
He's like, I'm in recovery.
It was a hip replacement, guys. I've just put a metal rod in this hip.
I just need to lie down for the winter.
I need to lie down. I got 2 screws on my hips right now. Hey, it's been 2 years of just t-shirt off. It's cold now. You can't perform with that t-shirt off now.
Smart.
You know, you understand that, hey, flu game. Very quickly, I must put a t-shirt on, something nice, maybe
he's
young
making winter
Gogo.
songs.
So he's making those tracks that are gonna be more enjoyed in the indoors.
He's making winter songs.
So when he comes to perform with a hempe, we're gonna be like, and then what's happening? He's like, no, I've got another one.
He's naughty because he's gonna get other people with big stomachs saying by December he's back again with topless, and then other people like hearing people inside.
Please, man, mkhaba ningawenza umlando siyangcila.
Yeah, mkhabas matter.
No, your mkhabas must go to the gym first, please, before you take off your top. Ngiyangcela. You've got 3 months now. We are in winter now officially because the rain said was up, and by the time we get to September, please
be ready.
Please, mkhaba yenu out. Okay. Yeah. All right. So hot music, obviously, and shout outs to everybody who is releasing the music. We are hoping to get a little bit more from you as well. A big thank you to our venue for today, Meet and Hustle Briar House in Parkmore. That's in Sandton, right close to Benmore Shopping Center. So make sure that you come through and check it out. And it's very cozy. I feel like this is also going to be a nice cozy place for winter time. So come through and check it out. See the vibes as well. And a thank you to our guest as well, PD Jokes.
Thank you. How did I do? Can I press one button, please?
You can press whatever you
I need
press whichever button you want.
Is it written PPPP?
No.
Oh my God. That's oh my God. Wait, hold on. Okay, I'm good. I've been wanting to do this for life. Okay.
Nah, you pressed it twice. That's why. You're supposed to press it once.
There's an evil laugh. Okay, that was pretty sick.
So where can people catch you? Social media? What can we follow? What are you up to? What's the vibe?
Thank you so much once more to be here. You guys are fun. Like the chemistry is insane here. It's just like Zakar, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? But yeah, so I'm working on some new music.
Nice.
So we're trying to push obviously on that end of the brand. We're gonna keep on pushing comedy. I'm gonna give you enough content for you to do. But I think this year is just gonna be more streamlining the music. I've learned a lot of things in the game, and I met a lot of people. I mean, I didn't think I'd meet you guys here for the first time. So it's like, oh, these are goats in the game. Like the name Boozy, basically name Boozer. You know, so you guys are like the goats. So I appreciate that. And you guys catch me in all social media platforms. PD Jokes. You'll see what's happening. We're hosting cupboards. We're still telling more jokes, and we're giving you guys music and content to make you laugh. Yeah, but besides that, stay great, guys. Stay awesome.
Shout outs, man.
Fantastic,
There
man.
you have it. That's our guest for today, PD Jokes. My homie who can see out of one eye, but he's been talking a lot, so maybe he's compensating for being blind for the day. Shout outs to Muchi
Shout out Muchi for 2 eyes.
for 2 eyes.
They see for 1 though.
Because the 4 eyes were at home.
That's right, man. I can
This
see.
guy's
I saw enough today.
I hope-
I've seen enough in life. Actually, I think I'm done.
I hope
Let me
you'll be able
guess. You're seeing someone.
I hope you'll be able to get home. I'm so stressed for you. Yes. I'm surprised you didn't wear 2 different shoes, but...
You know what? Actually, I'm actually disappointed. These are the shoes I wanted to wear.
He's like, today I'm rocking my Pumas. Abangas.
I swear to God.
That's a Nike, my boy.
I took other shoes out and I walked out and I was wearing these shoes. I'm like, man, I meant to wear my yellow shoes.
That's a whole Nike, fam.
Wait, what Nike?
I'm wearing purple shoes, brown pants, and
Bringing color blocking.
I in the mirror, I said, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I don't have time for this.
All right, shout outs to you as well, the viewer. Keep on liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, letting us know what you want. What do you want to see? People that you want us to interview on Pop Radio as well. And of course, we will be back next week.
Easy.
And I'm pretty sure you can't say see you later.